It was supposed to be a quiet evening, a simple celebration of my wife's promotion with a handful of close friends. I had spent the afternoon preparing, picking out the perfect gift, a sleek silver watch she had been admiring for months, and rehearsing the heartfelt words I wanted to say during my toast. In my mind, I could already see her expression, warm smile, sparkling eyes, the gentle lean against me when happiness threatened to overflow. I imagined pride, laughter, maybe even tears of joy. Never did I imagine that night would shatter the foundation of our marriage. The celebration started like any other. Soft music played, glasses clinked, and conversations buzzed in every corner of the living room. She looked breathtaking in a navy dress that shimmered under the lights, her hair cascading like a dark waterfall. Every laugh she let out drew heads, and I felt lucky, proud that she was mine. One by one, friend congratulated her. I stood there, smiling, reflecting on how far we had come. And then I noticed him. A familiar face from her office, someone I had met a few times before. I watched how close he stood, how his hand brushed hers with casual intimacy as they spoke. At first, I told myself it was nothing. They were colleagues, after all, but the look she gave him, soft, lingering, carrying a warmth that had once been mine, made my stomach twist. My heartbeat quickened, yet I reminded myself to stay calm, to watch, to not jump to conclusions. Then it happened, swift, deliberate, undeniable. He leaned in and kissed her, right there in the middle of the room, surrounded by laughter, conversation, people celebrating her success. It was not a playful peck or a drunken accident. It was intentional, and she didn't resist. She kissed him back. The sound of the room vanished. Laughter, music, even the hum of the air conditioner faded into a dull roar in my ears. My hands went numb. Every person froze, their faces a mix of disbelief and pity. My chest burned, not with anger, but with a hollow shock that left me weightless inside. I didn't shout. I didn't demand an explanation. I simply watched, observing as a realization sank in, her face drained of color, the enormity of what she had done finally dawning. My voice came out steady, almost chillingly calm, cutting through the stunned silence. It's over. The words felt heavier than anything I had ever spoken. She turned, eyes wide, panic replacing whatever fleeting thrill had been there moments ago. The man stepped back, his arrogance dissolving into awkward shame. It's over, I repeated, unwavering. In that moment, I knew it. There was no coming back. She stammered, incoherent. Wait, it's not what it looks like. Please, I mean. The excuses sounded hollow even to her. The kiss wasn't accidental. The pleasure had been mutual. The betrayal was complete. I didn't yell or argue. I just watched her crumble before everyone. The strength she had carried all night shattered. Tears ran down her cheeks. She trembled, weighed down by the choices she had made. Around us, whispers rippled through the room, sympathetic glances interspersed with frozen uncertainty. The man mumbled an apology and slipped out, leaving her to face the wreckage alone. She reached for me, voice breaking. Please, I didn't mean to hurt you. I don't love him. I love you. Her words fell flat, stripped of all power. I shook my head, not in anger, but in an exhausted way you do when a part of you finally surrenders. You chose this, I said quietly. You chose him. You chose that moment, and you destroyed everything we built. She buried her face in her hands, sobbing. The sound filled the room, yet it didn't move me. Not numbness from indifference, numbness from acceptance. Betrayal changes something inside you forever. When I walked out of the living room, it wasn't to flee or make a scene. It was to reclaim whatever dignity remained, to breathe without the weight of lies pressing down. Later that night, she came to the bedroom, eyes red, voice a fragile whisper. Please, I can fix this. I made a mistake. I love you. Don't leave me. But love wasn't the problem anymore. Trust was. And once trust breaks, no amount of pleading can restore it. I looked at her calmly and told her the truth she needed. You already lost us. Love means nothing when honesty is gone. She fell silent, tears streaming, powerless. I stayed long enough for her to understand the gravity of my words, to realize that the world she had taken for granted had collapsed because of one choice, one irreparable moment. The days that followed were quiet, eerily so. She moved through the house like a ghost, burdened by guilt. I focused on finding myself again. Everyone knew what had happened. The story of her betrayal spread quickly, whisper among friends and colleagues. Public humiliation, private clarity. Some wounds never fully heal, but they teach. And strangely, in that silence, I found peace. That night freed me from illusions, from believing in someone who no longer valued what we had. She kissed another man in front of everyone, showing me the truth I had refused to see. When I said it's over, I didn't just end our marriage. I ended the part of myself that clung to a lie. And for the first time in years, I walked away knowing exactly who I was and who she was not.